Hi everyone, Cynthia here with this month's Leaders Log on Culture. And I thought today I might talk a little bit about returning to work. It seems that because the vaccines have become more readily available, organizations are now starting to consider when and how employees can return to work in 2021 and into 2022. It's different, of course, for every organization, and the experience of remote work, of course, is different for every employee. But you've heard me talk before about our cultural assessment revolves around 4 dimensions of culture: communication, trust, accountability, and alignment. And I think that this return to work issue is really wrapped up around 2 things. First of all, skill sets, and second of all, trust, or in a different order. It could be the trust issue first and then the skill set. Let's talk about skills first of all. I think those individuals who have worked from home for a while and have proven to do so successfully by whatever measures you use will be happier and as productive in their performance in getting things done because they've figured out the system given their particular set of circumstances, what they have to do, how they have to do it to be successful. Managers will also need some skill sets to figure out how to manage a little differently if they, again, have not already figured that part out. Managers who have some remote workers and some on-site workers will have to do a bit of a juggling act, but it can be learned and it can be very, very successful. And that goes up the ladder to senior leaders as well. We'll need to know how to create a type of cohesive organization based on the types of data they have received and the types of things they are learning about their particular culture's remote workforce or a portion of their workforce. The other day there was a post from the BBC, and the title of the post was "Why Remote Work Has Eroded Trust Among Colleagues." And this title was upsetting to me. So I read it, and I am including it in the Insights tools below the video. There's an Insights tools section, and you'll see a link to that particular post. And yes, it speaks to trust issues because communication and trust weigh far more heavily than accountability and alignment. So trust is a very big deal, and you already know that. I'm not sure that it's eroded amongst colleagues as much as it has perhaps between levels. And it leads me to another part of a profile I read, or a post I read through McKinsey reports, and they talked about how the psychological safety of an employee is a critical skill that leaders are responsible for. So regardless of what type of remote work you're planning for the future, it is the leaders that set the tone for how the managers and the employees and staff will work successfully. Whether the employee is remote or not, do they feel safety in questioning things in a Zoom meeting or on a phone? Do they feel a sense of safety about challenging the status quo, regardless of whether they're in person or working remotely? Do they ask for help, either in a group or one-on-one, remotely or on-site? The type of psychological safety that the leaders need to create is critical for developing that trust amongst colleagues and at different levels. So I would challenge you as a leader to think about that portion of it, because psychological safety has a direct impact on well-being, and well-being has a direct impact on culture. If a person's well-being is that they do not feel happy or safe or in any way contributing for whatever reason, it will impact how they feel about the culture. So that's my challenge for you for this month. Those of you who are leaders of organizations that are struggling with and thinking about how and if to bring back remote workers, you have a very long sequence of questions to ask about who's been successful, who hasn't, and so on and so forth for your own culture. But the lead responsibility at the very top is, have you and are you creating a psychological safety net for those who choose to work and are allowed to work a little differently in terms of trying to make it an entire culture that addresses that and that honors that. So good luck. Let me know how you do.